Good afternoon, model fans. Welcome to another edition of Cookie Monster's Model Corner. Today I have a very exciting delivery that I just received. I got this from a model auction in England, M&M Auctions. They had an online sale at dispersal, I presume, of a large collection of toys and models, trucks, tractors, everything under the sun really. And I was able to pick up this quite exclusive letourneau L1800 by Hartsmith Models Limited. This is me literally just seeing it. As you can see, it comes in a completely plain box, and I reckon all the best models come in a plain box. So I have no idea what I'm going to find in here. Obviously, this is second hand, and it was bought on scene at an auction. A big thanks to M&M Auctions for very carefully packaging it, very securely. I've received the box, and as you can see, it appears undamaged. So fingers crossed it is. So Hartsmith Models, I don't know an awful lot about them. I know they're a very limited producer of models, as in they make models in a very small production run. I was incredibly lucky to get hold of a 2350 letourneau, and by pure fluke, the one I ordered was no less than number 105 of 105. So only 105 2350 models worldwide. I don't know how many of these L1800s have been made. Maybe some of you model experts out there could advise me. Drop a comment. I'd love to find out how many of these are produced. I'm delighted to get this in white, as I like a bit of variation in my models. I'm not a fan of company liveries. I do prefer the original manufacturer colours, and as my 2350 is in yellow, it's very nice to get this in white. And I'm massively relieved. From what I can see, the model appears to be absolutely pristine. I can hardly contain my excitement, even though it doesn't sound like it. So yeah, let's see if we can get her slid out, the remainder, without causing any damage to this very delicate hand assembled model. As I was saying, made by Hartsmith. When I purchased the 2350 off them, they were called Assam at the time. I presume just change of partnerships and things like that. Once again, if any of you experts know, I'd like to find out. And surprisingly, a good bit of weight in this machine. So I see one light has been mounted, two in the rear, one on top of the cab, three. I see all the little holes where all the step ladders are supposed to go. It's beautifully clean anyway. It obviously wasn't on display in a normal dusty environment like my models would be. I just found a little corner step. I'm not sure where these go. It'll just be a bit of a guessing game, but I'll figure it out. So yeah, there's all the mirrors and handrails and ladders and lights also, thankfully. So I'll empty those out, see what there is and see what there isn't. Hopefully everything's present, but at the moment, blown away by the perfect condition it appears to be in. It's flawless, not one mark, no dust, nothing. Absolutely beautiful. So yeah, delighted to get this machine. Big letourneau fan. Robert Gilmer letourneau. He has a good book of Mover of Men and Mountains. It's basically a bit of a biography on his life, and he was one heck of a guy. I'd be very sorry if the name vanishes completely. Letourneau were bought by Joy Global, and I believe they're now branded P&H. Then along came Komatsu, and have taken over from there, I believe. I think they still have P&H branding. I'm not sure if the letourneau name is still present, but I'd be very sad if it disappears into history, especially considering the machines being produced today are still original letourneau design through and through. So yeah, beautiful model. You can just about see the engine, which from rough memory I think you had a choice, the usual choice, Cummins and perhaps MTU, and I would say, going by the manifolds on the engine there, it's modelled, also the big row of filters, that's modelled on a Cummins. And you can see the generator unit modelled on the end of it, because of course these were a diesel electric loader and not mechanical drive like Caterpillar's large loader. Absolutely beautiful model. Twin exhaust stacks, some operator cab detail, air horns on the roof. We even have rubber hoses for the hydraulic cylinders. Some nice bucket detail down to bolts even detailed on the wear parts. I know some guys like to customize their models by picking out the bucket wear parts in a different color. Not really my scene. I like them completely standard. I must say it's lovely how it rolls on the table. So light, because of course it's not an all metal model. It has a lot of resin parts, which doesn't take away from it at all. In fact, I quite like resin in the hand-built side of custom models, because it seems easier to get a sharp edge for a hand-built maker compared to metal. Sharp edges on metal seem to be for the large manufacturers that can invest in very expensive machinery, but resin is much easier to give sharp edge detail. It's very authentic look, if you ask me. The paint is quite nice in this model too. It's not thick, it doesn't dull the sharp edges. You see the edge of the catwalk. That's that little rail I stuck in there, just ignore that, it's probably in the wrong place. So yeah, I think I'll set this down, assemble some of the railings, and come back. So there we go, fully built, and to my relief, again, absolutely every item was present. I just straighten this little ladder there. Thankfully, white metal is quite forgiving. You can bend it back into place gently. So yeah, there it is, fully dressed, all the handrails in place, and I gotta say, they didn't miss any detail when it come to the handrails. It took a bit of figuring out to where every single one of them went. We have the large wing mirror bracket on the roof. We have the spotlights above each front wheel. And doesn't it look the part? So yeah, absolutely delighted. I don't believe the model has even been assembled for display. It looks like it has almost been old stock in a model shop somewhere, as it is essentially brand new. So yeah, that makes up a little for the other models that I've recently got that have been broken and parts missing. I'm absolutely delighted with this one. Beautiful. So, as usual, I like to do comparisons. And I'll have to clear a spot on my shelf beside its bigger brother, the L2350. And I have the lovely 1850 with absolutely incredible detail. So yeah, let's have a look and see how it compares. What a beast. I believe the Hartsmith models are in fact 1:48 scale. That would probably account for a slight size difference, but they still display very well together. So overall, very pleased with my first auction experience. It can be quite nerve-wracking when you're not quite sure what you're buying, but today it has definitely paid off. I reckon I got this model for under half the price of the cheapest one that I could find online currently, and I got it for less than half the price, including commission. So yeah, I'm feeling very jammy, very pleased. So the next job I think will be getting it up on the shelf beside its bigger brother. So there we go. Assam L2350 letourneau, and then Hartsmith L1800 letourneau. And I'm quite surprised at just how large the L1800 is. Naturally, with the number, I was expecting it to be smaller. And it's still a huge machine. Cat's 994. Every update it seems to get bigger, and I don't think it'll be too long before it's chasing the bigger letourneaus. So yeah guys, once again thanks very much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the look around this stunning model. If you'd like to see more, please click the subscribe button and the bell, which will notify you when I put another video on. I don't know what my next video will be, as I like a lot of variety on my channel, but it will definitely be oriented around machines. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, take care, stay safe, see you next time, over and out.